as a squash community, we often talk about saying that squash is easy to learn. And I've said it many, many times, but I have to admit that I've had some students who lack coordination. They lack the ability to watch the ball. They lack the ability to move. I mean, of course they can move, but they can't seem to move to the ball, get their racket ready, swing. There are some people who racket sports just seem like, like something that's impossible. To me, the ability to play the piano or a guitar and to concentrate on both fingers at the same time, or both hands at the same time, or, picking and then placing, I can't imagine being able to do that. Yet, when I go on a squash court, I've got complete control over all of my body. I mean, I can move my legs in any way I want and my arms, and I can do that. But I can't transfer that skill to another activity. Not that I've ever tried to play the piano or guitar, but when I'm playing air guitar, it's like really hard to concentrate on both things. So, sorry, there's always this with me. Do we really think that squash is easy to learn? If you know anything about squash, you'll know that it came from a sport called rackets. And rackets was, or is, a difficult game. It's played on a much bigger court. The ball is not solid, but it feels solid. It's played with a slightly longer racket, and hitting the ball off the side wall and straight again is incredibly difficult, really hard. In most cases, you just have to boast it again, maybe change the angle slightly. So squash started because people wanted something that was a little bit easier. They were waiting for the courts outside, and, why not make it a little bit easier than it is in there? I mean, that's not exactly how it is, but okay. So when we come to racket sports, which would be the easiest to play? I suppose badminton. I mean, I'm not saying badminton is easy. Any badminton players watching here, don't send me hate mail. I'm not saying badminton is easy. I'm saying that you can get a lot of people to play badminton at the beginning. That's why they make those garden sets, because you hit the shuttlecock up in the air and it's coming down, it's coming in a vertical line. Getting your racket underneath it is much easier than if it's coming at you like horizontally. So maybe badminton is easier than other things. Maybe tennis is easier because, I don't know. Back to my original point again. Sorry, all of this. Okay. My original point was, we often talk about squash is an easy game to learn, and I'm not convinced that that's true. And I'm not convinced that it's bad, because it might not be true. Just because something is easy to do doesn't necessarily mean it's better than something else. Maybe there's a part of squash that is more enjoyable because it takes a little bit more work. I mean, I don't want to disparage the racquetball community, because I haven't played that much racquetball, and it's not my intention to do that. But racquetball is maybe even easier than badminton. You literally can't miss the ball. You literally can't make a mistake. Yes, you can, but literally you can't, or figuratively, sorry. It's so easy to hit, and that's why it's fun, because the ball keeps going and you just keep running and running and running. But squash isn't as easy as racquetball. Squash is a little bit harder. The ball is smaller, the rackets are smaller, it comes at you a little bit faster, it doesn't bounce as much. So I really want to ask that question. For you, was squash easy to learn? Was it easier than you expected? Was it as easy as you were led to believe? If after answering all those questions you still have another point of view, like, do you think it should be easy? I've got an idea that I'm sort of working on that would make squash a little bit harder to learn, but might bring some more benefits. I'll tell you about that maybe next year. So that's really the question. Was it easy to learn? Was it easier than you expected? Was it easy as you had been led to believe? And if it was or wasn't, is that a good or a bad thing? That's the question. Sorry for the rambling, by the way. On the screen at the moment, somewhere up here, is a playlist of all of the other questions for you to look at. And probably down here somewhere is another video that YouTube thinks is a really good fit for you. And probably down here is a subscription button. If and only if you think my content is useful, please consider subscribing. And remember, do something every single day to improve your squash. See ya.